Dr. Grant. My dear Dr. Sattler. Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Dinosaurs are fucking awesome! When I was a kid, I fucking loved dinosaurs, and Jurassic Park is what contributed to that love. When it was first released, Jurassic Park changed the game. It was a special effects marvel and made a whole new generation amazed by dinosaurs. And rewatching the film when I got older gave me new appreciation and perspective. When I was a kid, I didn't know why the group were disgusted while eating dinner or what they were talking about. I didn't understand what the Fat Man's plans were, and where the hell did this big fall appear from in the T-Rex encounter? With a franchise as big and popular as Jurassic Park, spanning out into different mediums was a no-brainer. There were comics, toys, and of course, video games. And games were being made as soon as the films released, to way after the last film hit home video. Many different types of video games were released over the years, from platformers and fighting games to arcadey light gun games. However, the biggest no-brainer for this franchise would obviously be the park builder genre, and many games from that genre had obviously been inspired by Jurassic Park, having expansions and content that reflected people's desire to have a zoo filled with monsters. But surprisingly, Jurassic Park has only ever had 2 games that could be called a park builder, and one of them was on the GBA. So today, with the release of a new Jurassic Park builder game in Jurassic World Evolution, I thought it'd be interesting to go back in time and take a look at the only other Jurassic Park park builder that was on PC and consoles, Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, or Jurassic Park Operation Mega Drive in Europe, was released in 2003 for the PC, PS2 and Xbox One. No, not that one. It was published by Universal Games on PC and surprisingly by Konami for consoles. Maybe they were supposed to be a tie-in for Metal Gear Rex or something. Developed by Blue Tongue Entertainment, who are responsible for a myriad of licensed video games, their previous work being a Starship Troopers real-time strategy game that I didn't know existed, and they're most known for is The Blob. And Blue Tongue Entertainment unfortunately died when THQ bit the dust. The game comes with a few modes that try to make the experience a little less repetitive. You have the main mode, where you start from scratch to try and build the park's reputation. You have scenarios, which is basically your tutorial and allows you to get a little more information about the mechanics of the game. Some of the scenarios task you with a specific goal rather than teaching you, however. For example, there is a scenario that asks you to build a park from the first film, populating enclosures with dinosaurs from the movie and including the car ride. They even allow you to keep playing with that park after you complete your objectives, so you don't feel the time you put into your park was wasted. This mode is probably better if you prefer a bit more structure to your game rather than just being let loose with the paints on an empty canvas, which I can understand when I play similar building sim games and I'm greeted with an empty lot and the game staring at me like, yeah fucker, now what? The other mode is missions, which have objectives that are more about controlling different aspects of the park than building, like controlling a helicopter or taking pictures from a car. These offer fun distractions and are possibly here to teach players that these options exist, as unless you know that selecting a ride will allow you to control it, you could miss this feature. Completing all scenarios and all missions unlock the Site B option. This is your sandbox mode, where you can put down hatcheries and make dinosaurs to your heart's content. But honestly, this mode is a little disappointing, as just having a barren island with dinosaurs running around with no way to interact with them is kinda boring. I would have loved to see unique assets for this mode, like destroyed buildings and wreckage, to make the island look more interesting. Now we know what modes we have, let's dive deeper into how you build and manage your park. Good things start small, and believe me, the start of your park will be very small indeed. You're randomly given one of 2 dig sites already unlocked, and with it 2 dinosaurs ready to be hatched right away. There'll be a small carnivore and a small herbivore usually. And when you first open your park, it might look something like this, boring and disappointing. I spared no expense, you see. The early game is fairly slow, and populating the park with dinosaurs is going to take a lot of time. You may be tempted to pool all your money and resource projects into getting better equipment to hatch and house more interesting dinosaurs, but neglecting your visitors will make it much harder. The only way to increase the amount of dig sites you have, and the kinds of dinosaurs available to you, is by increasing your park's reputation. So making sure your visitors are entertained and happy will increase your park's ranking faster. And while it may be tempting to go out and buy a high security fence to house that T-Rex, If the visitors can't see the dinosaurs, then what's the point? So giving research to improve the visitors' experience is more beneficial to the growth of the park. It's not like the visitor research options are just for them. Attractions such as the viewing decks and the hot air balloons can be manned by yourself so you can view your dinosaurs better. To kill machines that mow down herds of dinosaurs. It's pretty hilarious in its brutality. To help you with running a morally unethical park, the game has an assortment of imposters doing their best impersonations of popular characters from the movie. You have Dr. Grant, who will handle the dig sites and Fockle? You have Dr. Grant, who will handle the dig sites and fossil market, to Dr. Sadler, who will constantly interrupt what you are doing to tell you that one of your insignificant Dryasauruses have come down with a light cough. Seriously, if you are not on top of the health of your dinosaurs, your email box will look like a 13-year-old spam folder. The only two characters that are convincing in their appearance and voice is John Hammond and Samuel Jackson. I forgot his character's name. Surprisingly, the only characters absent is Jeff Goldblum's character, who does not appear in any capacity. You may seem this as reasonable as what knowledge would he have of running a park, or the health of your animals, or even where to find bones. But then again, two of our helpers here are canonically dead, so I don't know. The animations for the dinosaurs are where the most effort went, trying to make them seem believable. In other park builders, the animals are much smaller, and there are a lot more for you to get distracted with, so you don't pay much attention to the animals in the pen. They are more like ornaments you place in the enclosures to make people happy. In Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, the dinosaurs are much bigger and more noticeable, and some don't get along with others, meaning one massive pen would only be housing one or two dinosaurs. So seeing the dinosaurs' animations and behaviour is much more important. Here dinosaurs will hunt, sleep, drink and fight over territory. There are even some instances with the T-Rex where he has specific battle animations with other select dinosaurs. They don't happen often, but when they do, they're a real treat to see if you can catch them. It does make me wish that there were more of these in the game and accounting for more situations. This could have been their intention, but they just ran out of time. A complaint I have with the game is how the construction is so rigid, but that seems to be a problem with the times. In, say, a later city building game, you can make curved roads, rotate buildings how you want, and finally place where you want decorations to be. In Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, everything is on a grid, and you are only able to rotate objects 90 degrees. This makes creativity with how you build your park a struggle, as everything is just a line or a box, like you designed the blueprints with an Etch-a-Sketch. I'm not sure if this limitation was there because of the game was on consoles as well. I think that's what a PC gamer would say. Speaking of PC Master Race, you will need to edit some INI files for the best experience. This game has some weird limitations when it comes to assets. For instance, in this whole park you can only have 10 trash cans, and 60 dinosaurs, and 500 fences. Sounds alright, but when I want to cordon off a whole section of the island so that I can make a free-range dino reserve, it's gonna make some problems, so edit some INI files, give yourself 10,000s of fences to house your hundreds of dinosaurs. Surprisingly, the modding community is pretty active, which you wouldn't expect from an obscure park building game. The game must be pretty easy to mod, as there are changes from new dinosaurs and attractions to complete mod overhauls. And of course adding Godzilla. You can easily hatch 100 Zilla in your park, but if you try to actually make the King of the Monsters himself, the game just crashes. So that's Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, and if you're a fan of park builders or Jurassic Park, I'd say it's definitely worth a play. Its aesthetics have aged very well, and its graphics don't feel dated, as it is stylized enough to still be appealing. The Jurassic Park theme these days is very nostalgic, and it's cool seeing the universe being expanded on with new dinosaurs and attractions the park would have had if it not went so wrong. And the game mechanics complement each other well, and while the early game is pretty slow, the progression does become more tolerable. Unfortunately, this game isn't available on any digital distribution platforms, and Jurassic Park World Evolution is out already, so this game might get buried. Pun intended. But if you can find a copy, somehow, give it a go. You might have fun. I love you.